Item 4 needs a motion.
We're on item 4.
Castex Tatum move.
Second, Robinson.
Been moved and seconded on item 4. Councilman Pollard on 4.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Item 4 is regarding a sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. As I always do, I looked at the MWBE participation, and this one gave me a lot of pause. The backup shows that the advertised MWBE contract goals for this project were 12.94 for MBE and 8.72 for WBE. The actual participation achieved on this project was 3.26 MBE and only 1.46 for WBE. So the original approved goal was 21.66. But on this particular item, it was only achieved at 4.72, so well below the approved participation. Now, if you go further down in the backup, it'll show that the project was initially issued as a maintenance contract. However, the city recognized the greatest needs during the course of this contract will be met by utilizing the prime to execute work outside of the described work order bid items. So basically, the city, through its discretion and determination, chose for the prime to self-perform instead of that work going to the minority subs that were listed. My problem with that is, what recourse do the minority subs have when they anticipated work and they were relying on work? And it's over $700,000 of work that would have gone to minority or women-owned businesses. And as you know, as a lawyer, when we look at contracts and reliance, promissory estoppel, right, Arturo? When you have a reliance or an anticipation on receiving a certain service or benefit through a contract, and that anticipation is not realized, then what? And so I think the city has to find ways in which to still make sure that minority vendors get paid on contracts when, at no fault of their own, they are taking off based on the determination or discretion of the city.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I do think that it is incumbent on our part, if we are changing the scope and it's being done at it is one thing, and I'm a little unclear, it's one thing if we change the scope because the work was not needed. It is another thing if we change the scope because we made a decision that this other work got to be done, but the work for which the contract was let was still needed. And if it's the latter, then I'm very much bothered by that. So I'm sensitive to what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I'll have a conversation with our folk on that end.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.